today's episode, we take this and also some stuff from Whitey's challenge, which is this canister and a pack of lights that I bought for, well, both for $8. So let's go ahead and take all these and make something. So right here, I am taking an old Xbox One controller, remote control controller actually, that I had, and I took all the guts out of it, and I looked at it, and it had a really neat grid effect that I liked, and so I figured I might as well use it. I didn't use it for anything anymore because it just became irrelevant. So, and then I'm using, believe it or not, an old, well, not an old really, but it is a takeout Applebee's container. And originally I got the idea for this from another person who posted something on the Star Wars Room Builders group, and they used some kind of a takeout box from Red Lobster. And I looked at this when my wife and I had Applebee's, and I thought, I could do the same thing with this. So yeah, I'm painting this. I probably should have primed it first, but we're gonna get to that in a second. This little piece that I have, I used an old part from one of those cigarette lighter deals for an old, oh gosh, I can't think of what it is, to be honest. Anyway, and then I have a puck light that didn't work. I tried putting batteries in it, and I like the shape of it. And of course, since I'm going for a Coruscant field, Coruscant has all these bright colors, which I like. I like a lot. And I wanted to paint this thing orange because I thought it would, make it stand out. Because, again, Coruscant has all these bright colors, and it's just, I think it's fantastic. It's just wonderful for me. And again, I'm putting another layer of paint on the grid that I have. It has nice, to me, it just looks like a vent of some sort. So I figured I'd go ahead and run with that. Yeah, I'm still kind of learning how to paint some of these things. Some of it worked out good, some of it doesn't. I mean, like I said, I'm still learning, and I guess that's part of the thing of being a maker, is just learning the process. And of course, I had issue trying to mask, and it just peeled like crazy, and I wasn't happy with it. Thankfully, though, I had another one, and I decided to prime it first, so we're gonna work with that now. But I did also see that, as I did prime it, I sanded it even, and the paint still didn't take. However, I thought to myself, maybe I can use it somehow or other as like a weathering. So I kind of let it be, plus most of it's going to be covered up anyway, so I wasn't horribly bothered by it. On the edging that I'm doing, I'm painting it black, as you can tell, but I'm also going to be putting some yellow warning stripes on it. And I just, I thought it'd be a nice touch on there for this panel that I'm making. It's actually going to be a kind of like a coolant panel. I figured that, where I'm going to have my collectibles stationed, it's going to have all these different lights on there, which is going to, make things pop and stuff. And I thought, with all that, if you will, energy that's being produced, you gotta have something to go ahead and keep the keep it cool. I mean, because it's gonna overheat otherwise. So that's why I'm making this. And as you can see that it's starting to turn out now. The one thing is that I also I hand painted everything because I have to learn how to use a Cricut, and I'm not super computer savvy, but I enjoy painting, so that's what I'm doing on all of this. Everything that I did, I painted instead of using stickers or decals or anything. So it should work pretty good. I think it's passable. One thing I also did, which you didn't see me do because it's very, very tedious, was I painted a warning label in Arubesh font, and actually, if I remember, yeah, it says warning on it, you know. And that was very tedious and challenging, but I very much enjoyed doing that. It was a lot of fun. The other thing that I've learned also with this build is that, so my super glue that I'm using is crazy glue. I'm not particularly happy with it. I was at one point, but it doesn't, I don't know, for some reason, I don't think it sticks as good as some super glues that I've used before. If you know of any other ones that are better, let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely try them out and give them a whirl. Some of the other parts that I used are just parts from an old cell phone. One of the ones that, you know, it was almost like a flip phone kind of thing. I mean, it wasn't a smartphone. I just, you know, I saw that and it had some really neat patterns on it, so I put that on there. You know, had some you know, motherboards and stuff like that I tried one. I tried to glue it on, and again, it didn't stick right. I probably didn't do it right to begin with anyway, and so I ended up changing it in mid-process. You'll end up seeing that it's going to end up being on the grid, and then at the last minute I end up changing it. You'll see what it looks like, and I think it looked a lot better when I changed it anyway. I have a very small Greebly supply, but it's growing, it's getting there, and the cool thing is that I keep finding new stuff that just looks better and better as I keep going along, and I really enjoy this whole process. I mean, my sister, who also has a YouTube channel, I'll make sure I put a link in the description below. She goes by Dreaming Tabitha. She's the one that introduced me to the Star Wars Facebook build group, and I was just blown away by it, and I said, I gotta get involved in that. So that's what I've been doing, and I really enjoy it. This is only my second build, and I know I can do better, but I'm really enjoying it. Some things that I did on this, you know, I try to look at things from Bob Ross's perspective, is that we don't make mistakes, we make happy accidents. So, you know, I got the light, and I had to figure out how to get it in there, and I cut a hole for the switch to go ahead and go in, and it was all sloppy looking. And so what I ended up doing to cover it up, I actually had some old carpet foam, and I wrapped it around the opening, and I think it hides my mistakes pretty well. I mean, I really like that. The other thing is that, you know, I know that there are a lot of people that say that the Star Wars universe does not have, you know, your typical screw heads like Phillips and flathead and stuff like that. But I will beg to differ, because if you look closely at Rey's staff that she carries in The Force Awakens, you can actually see, believe it or not, there actually is a Phillips head screwdriver in there, or a screw rather. So I'm not particularly worried about that. You know, making sure I have different screws, not yet, but you know. The other thing that I did is I had some old tubing. It was very short, and it was difficult to work with because, you know, the challenge was only $15, and you know, no 3D printing, which again is fine. I don't have a 3D printer or anything like that, and so I was working with what I had, because, you know, I'm also trying to go ahead and be money conscious on my own anyway. So I had some old tubing that I had from a one of those vacuum seal things, and so I used it. I painted it to go ahead and kind of give it a little bit of a look, and I also ended up stuffing some like styrene wrap foam stuff on the inside of that canister that I have for the coolant, and I think it turned out okay. I mean, I was thinking about painting the canister itself, but I didn't think it would look right, to be honest. I think the one thing that I really enjoy, and the one thing that that I would like to perfect, would be the weathering techniques. I really enjoy doing that and trying to figure it out a little bit. I don't know, it's just kind of fun and interesting. And again, I struggled a little bit with this thing because I think somebody knocked the canister and it moved the tube, and I had to come up with another way to make it work because the tube just didn't want to stay. It was too short, so I just used some more of that carpet foam that I had left over, and I wrapped it as well. And again, it looks pretty cool. That's my 2-year-old little daughter. One thing you probably do notice, or maybe not, is that I tend to roll the paintbrush on my tongue even when there's paint on it. I would advise it on oils. I do it only on acrylic because it's water-based, and I don't know, it's just something I learned when I was doing Games Workshop miniatures for Lord of the Rings. I do that to keep a sharp point. It's probably not the best thing in the world to do, but that's what I do. It's just a habit now. It doesn't bother me. Actually, it's kind of weird. I actually kind of enjoy the flavor for some reason. And it does change the color of my tongue sometimes too. But again, I'm not worried about it. And I'm using, a silver felt tip marker for some of the weathering. Trying to make it look halfway decent and believable. And one thing I decided to try to do is, again, use the parts where the paint peeled off as, if you will, natural weathering, if you want to call it natural. Maybe organic. I don't know. It's something to make it look right instead of just sloppy, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Again, I'm just trying to feel my way through the whole thing and, learn as I go. It's part of being a maker, I guess, is what it is, just learning. I'm not sure if you can see, but on that grid from that controller that I had, you can see that red chipboard that I have on there. I'm wondering if what it was is the solder that was underneath of it for some of the components that were on it. Maybe it was keeping it from laying absolutely flat, and that's why it wouldn't stick properly. Maybe, I don't know if I need to file it down or whatever. So what I'm using right here is a chestnut ink wash that I got while I was doing the Lord of the Rings miniatures, and I really like this stuff. It works better on the miniatures than it does on this, only because it starts to dry pretty quick for some reason on this. But I figured it out as I went. It's okay. It's not the best weathering tool, if you will, that I've used, or that I've used. I mean, I've only done it twice, but I think I was able to kind of work around it, and there are some effects that I did that I liked. But overall, making the dirtiness on the box, I don't know. I probably could have done better. I just I was excited. Let's put it that way. I was really excited about this build, and I kind of wanted to see what it was going to look like in the end. And so I kind of, instead of really taking my time with the weathering on it, as far as putting the grime on it and everything like that, I just kind of rushed it. And it turned out, like I said, I'm happy with it, but not happy at the same time. If you have any advice for making the weathering on it and the grime and the grease and all that stuff to make it look better, Again, just let me know in the comments, and I will definitely look into it because I really want to improve on my builds. And I really want it. I really want everything to look cool. The other thing that I wish that I was able to do, because I don't know anything about working with LEDs. I would have loved to have incorporated more lighting in this panel. But again, overall, I am still very happy with the panel that I've made. Who knows? Maybe I'll make a second one later on down the road to make it better. 2.0, if you will. Everyone's got to have some kind of upgrade in their shop somehow or another, right? And again, I'm just adding more of the wash on there, trying to figure it out and make it look natural, like it actually took place and stuff. I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it as best as I can. So again, the goal that I'm going for is Coruscant. That's the theme that I want to go for, as far as like the Coruscant cantina. That's kind of the theme that I'm going for, but maybe it's not really cantina per se. I guess it's more of like, I don't know what the name would be called, but kind of like how the character in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the Collector, kind of like that, but in the Star Wars universe. Because I have so many different things that I want to display, both Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and Skyrim and, all kinds of different things. And so I figure I just want to be, a collector that collects things from across the universes, if you will. And I love that idea. I just, I want it to look cool with the lights and stuff. And I thought the lighting is, it was a really, really big thing in the Coruscant Cantina. I wanted to carry that over into my build. If you guys know what the name of that is, again, just let me know in the comments, and I will make sure I have the right name for what my shop is going to look like. Also, I'm trying different things as far as like trying to figure out my personality, if you will, on the channel. I'm not used to doing a lot of voiceover stuff. Maybe the first one seemed a little bit too professional, too wooden. I'm just trying different things. I want to be real, I guess, is what it is. Just be myself. And part of myself is awkward anyway, so I might as well just embrace the awkwardness. And here's the finished product of my my panel. As you can see, that switchboard has been replaced, and then I have also where my canister lights up. Alright everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give me a like, subscribe, comment, and I'm definitely look forward to the next build that I'm going to end up doing. I hope you guys, again, enjoyed this, and we will see you next time.